my God. Like, serious, this is, I don't even know what to say to this. I don't even know what to say to this.
I'm not expecting you to say anything. I just wanted answers, and I still haven't gotten them. I feel like if you're going to tell people that you're an authority figure,
I'm trying to help you understand.
You probably do have to help them. Yes, you do have to help them. Like you're saying, you're trying to help me understand, but every time I answer your questions, it's not good enough.
You don't trust your dog.
All of the pieces of advice that I've taken from you haven't worked. And when I ask you, how do I trust my dog? You don't tell me how. You just ask me another series of questions.
How do you trust your dog?
I'm asking you.
How does your dog trust you? The problem right now is the dog doesn't trust you. How do you gain trust in a dog? Okay, it's very, very simple. When an animal, step one is focusing on the relationship, and you are not the positive reinforcement.
How do I become that then? That's what I ask questions every day. I visit the group before I take him out and we do activities together. I've called you. I've talked to your followers. I've talked to people in the group, and I still have never had that answer. Is that what am I supposed to do, or what am I doing wrong? You haven't told me.
I can't tell you. That's the problem. You're expecting me to give you an answer. I don't know your dog. All I can tell you right now is that
oh
my God, human relationships, human best friend is no different from dog's best friend. Is your dog your best friend?
Okay, so tell me what the first step is then. If that's been the issue the whole time, is that what you're saying?
Yes, you don't have a best friend. That's the whole problem, Eden. And that's what you're fighting with me with. You're looking at him.
I'm not fighting with you.
You're looking at your dog like he's just a dog. The problem is, I look at the dog
he is just a dog.
I look at the dog like he's a child. Okay? That's the reality. That's radical behaviorism. Okay? And if you can't look at your dog like a human best friend, then I don't know what I can do for you. If it's just a dog, then you're not ready to develop a best friend. And right now, you do not have a best friend. You just admitted it. You cannot trust him 100%. That's the problem. And
is that all that a friend is to you? Does a friend, because if I had a human child, I am most definitely not going to trust a 3-year-old child. A 3-year-old child makes thousands of mistakes per hour.
Yeah, and you have to let them.
All right, everybody. This is a conversation that recently took place between an individual that Robert was attempting to help, who's part of his Facebook group, and he failed this individual. Now, this individual has been to many, many different online dog trainers with no success with her and her Pitbull. Now, I'm going to do a follow-up video going over different parts of, or just going to go through the conversation, and I'm going to give my commentary on it because that is what this individual had requested, because she was so kind as to let me post this, which, by the way, I think it's really gutsy of her to do this. It was gutsy of her to get back on the phone with him, to be honest with you, and confront him in the way that she'd, or I should say, question him, speak her mind the way that she did. Because remember, don't question Robert Hines. Don't question Dale McCluskey. Don't question soft as baby shit rock solid. You can't question these motherfuckers. This is why leadership is so fucking important. This man goes on and on and on about reading Skinner. Need to understand the psychology. And yet, doesn't seem to understand how to communicate with other human beings. Funny how that psychology, being a, quote, positive reinforcement for the dog, somehow doesn't apply to your interactions with other human beings. And the little bit that I had listened to, it was incredible to me how this man gets on social media and parades around like he's all about the dog owner, helping people, build better relationships with their dogs. What do you want as a dog owner? It's all about what do you want? That's all I need dog owners to ask the question. What do you want from your dog? I always get the same answer. I don't ever hear, I want a well-trained dog. This is so ridiculous to me. You want to read some books? Hey, Robbie, I recommend you read some books on, I don't know, leadership. Or maybe the Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That would be a great start. Why don't you read some books like that? Listen, I've said this before. You can be great with the dogs, which I would argue Robert isn't even great with the dogs. But if you're not great with the people, if you don't understand leadership, y'all can talk all the shit you want about leadership. If you do not understand it, you will fail. And funny, it's only the people that criticize my commentary on leadership or why it's so important. I don't see them being all that successful with dogs or people. Funny how that works. Huh. Interesting. This is why this is so important. If you don't know how to lead people, you're going to fail. You may do okay with the dogs, but you still need to learn how to lead the dog too. All of these skills, it's all connected. Nothing's isolated. And even then, I would argue, listen, there are many dogs that Robert has posted short videos of on his channel that we never get any follow-up of. We don't know where those dogs are today. And I would argue that there's a lot of issues that some dogs have, like this individual's Pitbull, that Robert is incapable of helping, which is why we never get client testimonial, we never get follow-up, we never get any updates. Why is that? It's incredible to me that Robert is going to parade around like he's the fucking expert, not only on dogs, but on psychology. And yet, this is how he treats people. And this is not an isolated incident. I guarantee you, if anybody listening, if you've hired Robert, that there are parts of this conversation, if not the whole thing, that you will relate to. You would be able to say, yep, he talked to me that way too. And by the way, I've talked, like, confirming this with other people such as Pete Reeford. Funny how this individual was telling me how Robert was treating her. And literally the day before, or I'm sorry, the day after, Pete was telling me the same exact shit. Because that's how Robert treated him. And this is why it's like Robert has this Facebook group that's it's like on lockdown, super secretive. Got to be a member to get in there. And when you're in there, oh, don't dare question him. Don't spread your dog training bullshit here, or you'll get banned. And you'll hear there's a part of the conversation where she was trying to say, I posted videos for you to check out, and I didn't get any help from you. And this individual had told me that what was funny is when Robert found out that this individual had came to me for help. She had said before that it was really hard to get him on a Zoom call. I don't know how. Like, Robert, you don't have a fucking job. How is it so hard to get you on a Zoom call? I guarantee you're not helping that many people out here. Guarantee it. It was hard for her to even get you on a Zoom call because she had questions that what you were telling her to do wasn't working. But it wasn't until you found out that she went somewhere else that, oh, now you've got all the time in the world for her. She had claimed that you were just like blowing up her phone, wanting to have a conversation with her, wanting to have a phone call with her. And so she said, listen, I don't have time to be texting back and forth all day long. Let's have a conversation. From what it sounded like, she wanted to push for a Zoom call, but and I think they get into that at the beginning of this conversation. But Robert didn't want that. He wanted a phone call. So you've got 2 hours for this individual after you already failed, after they went somewhere else. Interesting how that works. But when she was in the group and under your tutelage, you didn't have the time of day. This is why I say, everybody, fuck what these people say. Where's the work? Where are their results? Where's the client testimony? Where's the follow-up? Where is the demonstration of what it is they teach, their philosophy? Do they have videos breaking it down for you? Because there's a common thread in this conversation is that when she asks him, can you give me actionable steps? Like, what do I do? He can't answer the question. There's even a part, like that clip in the beginning where she's like, every time I ask you, like, what do I do? You start asking me more questions. And that's exactly what he did after she said that. He asked, do you trust your dog? It's like, she just told you that she's frustrated because every time she asks you for, like, step by step, what do I do? You don't give it to her. Instead, you ask her more questions. And then you did exactly what she said you were doing. Oh, but I make up my own psychology as I go, Robert. I'm the one that's full of shit. I'm the fake and the fraud. As I've said before, you guys like you and Dale are the epitome. If you guys are what if projection were a human walking around as a human in human form, you guys would be projection in human form. You go around accusing me of being a predator, fake, fraud, liar, whatever, making up my own bullshit, and here you are demonstrating that you're the fake, the fraud, the liar, and making shit up as you go along. And listen, from what I've seen already, because this individual has sent me videos yesterday about like putting into practice what I had shown her or told her to do. And even in just one outing, she's already seen a lot of progress with her dog. I wonder why that is. Again, this is why I say you could read all the fucking books you want. Book knowledge does not equate to real world experience. And sorry, but a lot of the shit you read in books, your real world experience may contradict that. But more importantly, you can read all the psychology books in the world. I don't give a fuck, because what matters is the psychology of this animal. And if you don't understand that, I mean, you're talking about a guy who won't even acknowledge that dogs have territorial instincts. How fucking ridiculous is that? If you don't understand the psychology of this creature, you will fail. So it's no surprise to me that conversations like this happen, and you have clients who are getting frustrated with you, and instead you decide to belittle them, talk down to them, shame them, make them feel like they're the problem. Oh, but leadership doesn't matter, right? No, we don't need... Oh, if you've gone to somebody who teaches leadership, you've already failed. Get the fuck out of here. Any of you motherfuckers who want to say that, again, same people who don't show work, same people who cut shit out of their videos they don't want you to see, same people who don't work with the public. They say they do, but where are their reviews? Where are their testimonials? I'm tired of this shit. This is why I keep saying, this talk is cheap. I don't give a fuck what these motherfuckers say. Where is the goddamn results? Because if you actually knew what you were talking about, you could easily answer the question of when she asks, what do I do? And you don't have a fucking answer for her. It's pathetic. And you've got the nuts, or you pretend to have the nuts, to attack me. Insane. Fuck you, Robert Hines.
Well, first I wanted to ask whether you'd like to record this or make it into a video call so that people in the Facebook group. Okay, well, do you want to do a video call so that people in the Facebook group can see this and watch it?
I really don't want to stick my face on camera right now, do you? You can turn your camera on, it's not a problem. People know my voice, they know exactly who I am.
Okay. Well, I guess if you're fine with it just being a phone call, that's fine. I just thought it would be a little easier to have a video call so that people could watch along. But
Eden, after 6 years of being after 6 years of being terminally ill, I look like shit. I really don't want to be on camera right now, okay?
yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Well, the same things that I asked you in the comments and just in the messages. If you can explain to me exactly what you mean, like when you've said that I'm just not ready for dog psychology and I'm still in the mind of a dog trainer.
Well,
What do you mean by that?
First of all, we got to lose the idea of dog psychology as animal psychology, and human beings are a part of that. Eden, like it or not, we're animals. That's the whole thing.
Yes, I agree.
The whole thing about radical behaviorism. When it comes to how we act, you can replace dog with human child. You can replace dog with pigeon. You can replace dog with rat. They're all the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But dogs do understand things differently than humans and rats and pigeons.
In what ways?
In multiple different ways. I don't think that people necessarily communicate with each other in the ways that dogs communicate with each other.
No, of course not. But the thing of it is we're dealing with behaviors right now, and you're dealing with the mind. The mind has no say in how you behave. Your limbic system takes care of all your behaviors. Your mind has no impact on it whatsoever. But yet trainers are going...
Well,
Go ahead.
I would disagree with that to some degree. I don't think everything that we do is controlled by our mind, but
that's why
I do think that we have some control over what we do.
That's why you're not ready for psychology. You're not ready to agree with it yet. You're not ready to accept it yet. You see,
all of psychology doesn't say that our mind has no power to control our actions. That's only B.F. Skinner. That's only his psychology.
You see, you're listening to dog trainers. Dog trainers think I'm over here, swinging around B.F. Skinner's book and claiming this is psychology. No, it goes much deeper than that. We're dealing with Carl Jung. We're dealing with Sigmund Freud. We're dealing with Ivan Pavlov. They all agree. Even Einstein and Tesla would agree.
Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung disagreed on a lot of topics.
Like what?
Multiple different things. Carl Jung, I've read his books before. I've never read B.F. Skinner's, but Carl Jung is the one that he believed that a lot of our unconscious self was determined by our past experience. Yeah. So that's similar to what you're saying.
That's Skinner
but
too.
He also believed we had power to control what we perceived in the world as long as we maintained that our unconscious self was part of ourself.
Yeah, but
and as long as we accepted it, we could change it.
Does Carl Jung tell you that we have free will?
Yes.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
Oh. Carl Jung
does. He did.
Really?
Yes, he did. He believed that we have free will.
What about?
Well, tell me which books by Carl Jung that you've read, because I'll show you. I mean, I can send them to you in the text messages.
I've read the Red Book. I've read. Jesus, give me a list of titles, and I'll show you if I read it or not. The Red Book is the big one. That's where he gets into the shadow and everything else, and this is where he proves Skinner. What he called a shadow is actually your animal nature. It's all the evil shit you're capable of doing. And that's animal nature. That's B.F. Skinner.
Right. But he believed you could control it. He believed that as long as you accepted it and you got to learn about yourself, that you could determine your own actions, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, he was also deterministic. And you said it yourself. He said the past dictates current. And that's exactly what Skinner would say, too.
Yes. But I'm saying that Carl Jung did, whether or not the past dictated our current circumstances or outcomes, we have the ability to change it. And
yes, we do.
It doesn't matter what Carl Jung has said in regards to that. You just use him as an example all the time to tell me that I don't have enough trust in my dog. And to me, that doesn't make sense, because in past experiences and present experiences, when I let my dog behave the way that he wants to, he ends up getting hurt.
Okay,
and it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with other dogs hurting him.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I do see what you mean.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is your response to that when a dog wants to do something that's detrimental to the dog?
It's called positive consequences. There's a positive consequence to it, and it learns from past responses that there's a positive consequence to it. You see, like people, again, we need to look at dogs' worlds for a dog's set of eyes. So when,
Right.
just hear me out for a second. So when people are coming home, the dog, you know, you get all pissed off as the dog is jumping on them. Stop and think about that from the dog's point of view. You come home from work, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're grumpy, you might have a stressful day, you stink of cortisol, you know, so all the stress and whatnot. You come in the door, and that's what the dogs are confronted with. You see your dogs, and all of a sudden your emotions change. You get very happy. Well, from the dog's point of view, their excitement and their jumping on you actually is a positive consequence that change your emotions from negative to positive. So guess what? Things that have positive consequence, they keep doing. And this is the reason why they keep jumping on everybody. Okay? That's the
Well,
reality.
I would have to disagree with you on that, because not all dogs jump up on people because they're happy or they're trying to make people feel better. Like I told you in that comment, I have literally seen with my own eyes, it hasn't been my dog, but I've seen other dogs do this, and a dog has actually done this to me before at work, but jump up on you to bite you, to aggress you out of like a territorial response.
Okay, so
even when they're not in their own territory. I'm talking a dog
that's a different
out
story.
in the middle of nowhere.
That's a different
I'm sorry?
That's a different story. I'm talking about dogs that are just they're always jumping on people. They're not fucking showing aggression and whatnot. Okay, so
and that's not a problem. I wouldn't necessarily try to train an excited dog to be less excited, especially if it's just happy and it's not going to cause any damage.
So what do you do instead? What would you do? How would you handle it?
If a dog jumped on me out of excitement, I wouldn't do anything. I would just stand there.
Okay.
Because I don't care about that behavior. I'm talking about behavior that's detrimental.
Yeah.
A dog jumping on you and wagging its tail and licking you isn't going to hurt anybody unless you're like 3 feet tall. And in that case, yes, if you're a child and a dog jumped on you out of excitement, that could hurt you. And that's why people train dogs not to jump on guests. It's because it depends on the guest. It could hurt the guest if the guest was not an adult. But I'm talking about behaviors that would hurt any other person or any other animal. Like when I used the example of a dog chasing a cat. How is it? It's not my fault that the dog has a prey drive and wants to kill the cat. That's not due to a lack of trust in my dog.
So what do you do instead?
I hold the leash and I prevent the dog from chasing the cat and killing it.
And what I'm trying to do is explain to you that you need to understand why the dog is chasing the cat and trying to kill it.
Because it has a prey drive and it likes to hunt.
Okay.
That's not dependent on breed. Any dog can have that.
Okay, so what do we do instead? Instead of holding the dog and trying to get the dog to stop, what do we do instead?
Walk away?
No, this is what Sigmund Freud gets into. It calls id. The id, ego, and superego. The id is your basic behaviors. Okay? They need to be satisfied. They demand to be satisfied right now. So when a greyhound is chasing a rabbit through the field, that's all strictly id. There's no ego, there's no mind, there's no nothing. It's strictly id. So what do we do instead? How do you get a dog to stop chasing? If a dog has prey drive, how do you get a dog to stop chasing on prey drive?
You tell me, because I'll tell you, and I'm sure you're going to say that's not right. You're going to tell me that whatever I would do, it's not the right answer. So you tell me what you would do.
Give the dog an alternate. You know what? Pick up a remote control car. Get the dog chasing it somewhere else. Give it time and a place to do it. And guess what? It's going to stop trying to kill the cat because you're giving the dog a place, a time and a place to get the prey drive out of the system. That's point blank. Okay. Simple.
Well, you told me that this is what, if you are recording this and this will go on the Facebook page.
It's recording.
Okay, this isn't meant to be an insult by any means, but you've told me that over and over throughout the past 3 months, and I have done that, and it doesn't prevent my dog from seeing a rabbit. It doesn't prevent my dog from seeing a rabbit and trying to chase the rabbit to kill it. My dog is not going to want to be friends with the rabbit. It's a different reaction that he has to rabbits and possums and squirrels as compared to people and dogs and livestock.
Again, it's positive consequences. There's a positive consequence to it, and that's all the dog knows to do. When it sees a rabbit, that's all the dog knows to do is chase the rabbit. Why?
Exactly.
Why?
So you would because that's what's good for the dog, but that doesn't mean it's good for the rabbit or for the cat. And that's why you would prevent the dog from doing it.
But why is the dog have positive consequences to doing the chasing the cat?
Because they're a predatory animal since the dawn of time. They're descendants of coyotes.
Not all dogs have predatory drives like that.
Not as strong, but all dogs have predatory drives, as do cats.
But the thing of it is, here's where the problem lay. People think that the dog wants to kill, okay? There are border collies out there right now that never ever get to chase anything. So you know what? They're at the point right now where they're so frustrated they never get their id to express. So they end up having it causes neurotic behaviors, okay? And aggression is one neurotic behavior. What I'm trying to explain to people is that if you consistently give them the time and the place to do it, okay, then they're going to stop doing it elsewhere. That's the problem. It's consistency.
Okay.
It's consistency. Some dogs might need it once a week. Some dogs might need it twice a week. If you got a Belgian Malinois, they're going to need that structured exercise every bloody day. They're going to need to get that out of the system. Now, there's structured exercise, which is the chase, which is actually getting the breed standard out. And then there's also unstructured exercise. So when people go to dog parks and the dogs running around playing with dogs, that's all unstructured exercise. Or if the dog's off in the field and whatever have you, that's all unstructured. A job is structured exercise, and that's what most dogs don't have.
Right.
But they need that consistent job. And that's what's not happening.
Well, what would you say to me then? Because I've told you this multiple times, that the reason that I ever started watching other trainers on YouTube in the past 3 months, especially the one that you particularly don't like, is because I did do those things that you're suggesting.
Do you have video?
My dog has. I'm sorry?
Do you have video of any of this?
Yes, I do.
Can you please post it for me? Send it to me.
Post it on the group?
Pardon?
I have. I've posted
Where?
videos on the group. I posted them as I was doing them.
Okay.
And over the month, I've just deleted them because they don't get... You told me that the group was being archived. So I don't care to have any more posts on there.
Have you ever tagged me in these posts?
And so it doesn't matter to me.
Have you ever tagged me in these posts? Because I haven't seen these posts.
No.
No, okay.
I've never tagged you.
All of a sudden it's my fault.
I didn't say that. I'm just telling you that I have done what you've asked. And it hasn't...
Oh my God.
The structured exercise that I do every day with my dog has not led to him no longer being reactive to other animals.
Again, what structured exercise are you doing? Give me some details.
The things that you suggested.
The last time we talked, it was too much.
The thing that you suggested was an RC car and a flirt pole. And I have done both of those things. And chasing rabbits. You told me to try that, which is actually a problem for me because once he starts chasing the rabbits or gophers or whatever it may be, he doesn't stop. He wants to do it all day long. And that's a problem
because he's been conditioned using dog training. That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem of punishment. I'm trying to explain to you that dog training is nothing more than punishment-based. We got trainers out there point blank stating, shut down the behaviors, stop the behaviors. This is in psychology is called punishment. What is the definition of punishment in psychology? It attempts to remove a behavior from an animal's repertoire. It does not work. Psychology itself is anti-psychology or anti-friggin' punishment because we do not have free will. And if you do not have free will, then guess what? We can't help how we act. And if we can't help how we act, then punishment is ineffective. Punishment has nothing to do with the animal deserving it. And people are punishing their dogs in many ways that they don't even understand because they don't understand they don't understand psychology. That treat that you're given. When people offer treats to their dog, their treat training, that's the worst bloody punishment you can do. But people don't want to understand that it is the worst punishment because you're actually toying with the dog's survival. There's 3 things that the animal needs to survive. That's food, water, and shelter. And when they start screwing around with the food or the water, they're feeding the dog morsel by morsel. You try doing that to a human child and see what it does. I want you to step back and look at your dog as a human child.
Yes.
Okay? That's what you need to do.
I have.
Okay. So if you had a human child, how would your relationship be at this point?
With my human child? Good.
Okay. So with all the training that you put the dog through over the years, you really think that's a good relationship?
I think me and my dog have a very good relationship.
How do you define a relationship?
I define it by a couple of different characteristics, but mainly I would say loyalty.
Okay. Because to me, it's all a relationship. When you look at human friends, again, radical behaviors and replace dog with human child. So what is a human best friend? You trust that person, you respect that person, you're fully confident with that person, you know damn well that person's not going to put you in harm's way, you know damn well they have your back. Is that your relationship with your dog?
No, that is not my relationship with my dog. And let me finish, because what I was going to say is that there is one area in which I do not have trust with my dog. Only one area.
Okay, where's
where
that?
I've ever seen him act badly that has gotten him almost killed. And that is excitement when seeing other dogs. And I know you don't remember the story, because last time we spoke, you told me you didn't remember because you had so many consult calls. But to sum it up, when my dog was a puppy, he got attacked because he was being overly excited and playful. He wasn't being aggressive or dominant, but his excitement in meeting another dog led him to be attacked by the other dog and almost killed.
Yeah.
That is the one area where I don't have trust in him. I have friends that I trust them with certain things, but not with others.
So you don't have...
I don't have a...
Do you have any best friends?
I don't have a... Yes, I do have a best friend.
Okay. Because
I do.
Man's best friend has the same freaking thing as a human best friend. That's the reality.
Okay. Well, my dog is not my very best friend. He's my dog and he's loyal, but he does have an issue with overexcitement that sometimes looks like or could lead to aggression.
And that's why
no, I don't trust him in that aspect.
This is why I'm trying to explain to people. Excitement is your enemy. Why is the dog excited? And what can we do to stop the dog from being excited? What can we do to fulfill the dog so that they're not excited? Because excitement causes all the problems. Excitement causes all the aggression and reactivity. Excitement causes all the food issues. Excitement causes the dog to jump up. So why is the dog excited in the first place?
Yeah. I actually agree with that, Robert. I don't disagree with that at all, because I've seen it in my everyday life.
So how do we get the dog into a calm state?
You're asking me that, and every answer that I've given you, you tell me, no, that's the wrong answer. But you answer the question, and I will tell you I've tried what you're about to say. I've read all of your blogs. I've been in the Facebook group for 3 months, ever since like the 20th or the 21st of April. I've been in the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. I visit it at least once a day because I work with my dog at least once a day.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Post your videos up in the group again, and please tag me and let me know they're there so I can actually take a look at the damn things. Facebook doesn't work properly. If nobody's figured that out, I might get 10% of my freaking notifications. I'm going through the group and trying to find posts all the time. You know, if you're not tagging me, how the hell am I supposed to find them?
Well, because you're on the group all the time, I would have assumed that you might have seen them.
I spend a lot of time on the freaking phone. There's days I'm on the freaking phone for 8 hours a day. I'll take 5 minutes to look at the group. When people tag me or even email me the freaking links to if you got a YouTube video, email me the links.
I don't have any YouTube videos.
So what are you doing? Is uploading the video?
Yes, to Facebook.
I tell you what, do me a favor. Create a new post, put all your videos up there, and tag me that you're there, okay? Tag me that you're there, and we can talk about it in the group. I would love to see the videos. The whole problem is we have an uncalm dog. How do we get the dog calm? That's the entire thing. That's psychology.
Yeah, I'm asking you, and so far your solutions, you gave me a solution of using CBD oil. You gave me a solution of blindfolding the dog, which worked terribly. It didn't work at all. It went horribly.
It's suggestions. That's all it is. It's stuff that I've done in the past. If it doesn't work for you, that's great. We need to find something else. We don't stop trying and start getting frustrated and whatnot. We need to find something else. We don't know what the cause is. That's the whole problem. We haven't figured out the freaking cause yet. We don't have a diagnosis. And you're not giving me the chance to give you a freaking diagnosis.
Okay.
You're only coming at me. You're coming at me upset. Okay?
I'm not upset. I'm not upset with you at all. You seemed to be upset with me, and you were sending me messages and videos this morning because I've been watching. I won't name him because I don't know if you're going to post this to the
I'm going to post this
Facebook
right to the Facebook group. It's Kevin Murdoch.
Okay.
Kevin Murdoch.
Yes, I've been watching.
Kevin Murdoch's only goal is to get at me. Okay? And he's going to use you to do it. And again, like I said, I will clean up the friggin' mess after it's all done. Okay?
Okay.
This is not the first time this happened.
I'm not going to cause a mess for you, Robert. I don't have any skin in the game of dog psychology. The only thing I care about is my dog and making my dog better. Yes.
You don't realize you're getting in the middle of a big friggin' mess, okay? That's what you don't realize. You're getting in the middle of a big friggin' mess, and again, you're going to get yourself hurt in this process. I've seen it before. This is Kevin's track record, okay? It's going to be a mess. He's going to get on camera one of these days and start crowing that, oh, yeah, you know, I had to help one of Rob's clients because he couldn't do it. You think this is the first time it's happened? No, this is the fourth or fifth time. And it always ends the same way. Okay? And the fact that you're coming in publicly on my comments and saying, no, none of this stuff worked, it's not going to help either. Okay? We need to have a serious talk to try to find out what the cause is. So clearly we haven't found a cause yet. And that's the whole problem. That's what the thing with psychology is all about, cause and effect. What's causing the dog's behaviors? We haven't figured it out yet. Okay? That's the reality. And I'm more than willing to help you try to find a cause. And we'll find a solution if you're willing to work with me and stop fighting with me.
I'm not fighting with you, Robert. I've been talking to your group members for 3 months. I've been watching your videos. I've read. Can you see on your website how much traffic it gets like every day? Because if you can see it, if you can go on there, I've read all of your blogs.
Okay.
I'm not fighting with you. The thing I said in the comment of the solutions that you gave me so far haven't worked was in response to the video that you sent me by, I don't know that guy's name, the guy that was standing in the woods with his Dalmatian.
Mark
DeBose. Okay. You sent me that video, and essentially you were wanting me to learn a thing or two from what he was saying. And one thing he said, I'm quoting him, he said, like, the art of doing nothing. And that's my problem with what you've been telling me to do is nothing, because it's made things work. And that's not a statement to try and bash you. I'm not saying, like, never follow Robert Hines' instructions. Plenty of people might be getting help from what you're doing. I haven't, and I don't see anybody in the Facebook group that has ever posted, like, a full-on success story of completely rehabilitated dogs. I've never seen that yet.
You won't see a completely rehabilitated dog because they've never been an issue in the first place. That's the problem.
A dog that no longer has any type of reactivity or aggression, or what every time I say aggression, you say aggression is a behavior and it's not the root cause. I understand that. But whatever the root cause is, yes, I do. But let me continue. Whatever the root cause of the aggression is, the dog is showing aggression because of that underlying fear or prey drive or whatever it may be. The dog is showing aggression due to that.
The underlying fear is not the problem.
Okay, as of yet, I've never seen anybody post like a 2-month update. My dog no longer shows signs of aggression. That's the issue, is that my dog is a breed that if he shows aggression, I'm going to immediately get shut down and get told, well, it's because of his breed and you should never have owned that dog in the first place. I'm like your other group members. People have told me to put my dog down. People have sent me death threats for owning a Pitbull kind of breed or a Pitbull mix. Yeah. So I completely understand that. But what I'm saying is that I have not seen my dog or any other dog in the group stop experiencing the effects of whatever is causing the aggression.
Okay.
No matter what I've tried, any of the suggestions that you've given me, which I have tried.
Do you know what a diagnosis?
Haven't ceased that. So that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what a diagnosis is? Do you know?
You tell me.
Do you know what's causing your dog's behaviors?
I believe I do, but
what do you think is
again,
causing your dog?
I'm waiting for you to tell me because you're the authority
I'm not an
in this
authority in
Facebook
anything.
group.
I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not an authority. I'm just a dog lover that loves dogs, and I've been dealing with psychology for 35 years. Okay? That's the reality. What do you think is the cause of your dog's behaviors? I don't know your dog.
I'll tell you. Yes, I know.
I'm not a mind reader. I don't call me an authority. I'm not an authority.
That's why I've sent you so much information, and that's why I'm on the group so often, is because I'm not trying for anyone to be a mind reader. I hope that they would answer my questions and look at the scenarios that I've written about. Nobody's expected to be a mind reader. I can't help it though. I can't help it if you don't remember the things that I've told you about my dog. I can't do anything about that. I've told you over and over about the different scenarios when my dog reacts.
Just stop for a second, okay? You're focused on the emotional response, okay? The emotional response, put it away. Something is causing the emotional response, which jacks up the cortisol, which causes the aggression or reactivity. What is that something?
I agree.
What is that something?
I agree. I think that something is twofold. I think one part of it is potentially prey drive. I think the other part of it is fear reactivity.
Okay.
Being afraid of a larger animal.
So what is the...
I think it's twofold.
Okay. So why would he be afraid of a larger animal?
Because he's been attacked severely twice.
Yes, he's got a rational fear, which is going to be harder to get over than irrational fears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you get him over a fear?
By exposing him to the fear over and over in a calm state and proving to him that he can't be hurt.
No.
That's not how you get over the fear?
Nope.
Okay, how would you do it? Because that's what I was answering based on the information you've given me.
So the dog is acting out in the environment, okay? Again, let's take away the vision from you, and let's look at the world from the dog's point of view, okay? This is what it always is.
Yep.
But dog trainers can only see the dog's world through their own eyes. Radical behaviorism looks at the subjectivity through the dog's point of view. So, if your dog is...
But I'm not a dog trainer. I'm just an owner.
Now, if you're out in the environment and your dog is actually barking and raging at something in the environment, it's more concerned about something in the environment. You are the only environment the dog is supposed to be concerned about. So instead of the dog barking at everything in the environment, they're supposed to be looking at you and coming to you instead. Which means that you're the positive reinforcement. You are the safe space. You are a place of relief. Right now, your dog is not doing that because you're not the positive reinforcement in your dog's life. Okay? And that's not saying a bad thing. That's every dog owner. Okay? You've been a negative reinforcement for years, trying to apply training, and that's all you've ever gotten. In your own admission, you've gone through trainer after trainer after trainer. You spent thousands of dollars, and you've applied nothing but punishment. And that's what the dog knows.
I didn't say that.
The problem is...
I didn't say that, Robert.
Eden, dog training is nothing more than punishment-based, period, end of sentence. The reward and punishment, it's all the same, it's all punishment. Okay? Psychology itself is anti-punishment. Have you ever used treats on your dog? You ever train your dog?
A very long time ago, before the reactivity, yes.
Okay, so we talked about
before the reactivity.
Okay. Did you ever use heel? Or did you ever use tools or anything on your dog?
Yes, a long time ago. I used to use a prong collar. That's the only aversive I ever used was a prong collar.
Are you ever still using the same commands?
No, not anymore. Not in the past 3 months. I've told you that.
Okay. So what do you do when your dog acts out?
In the past 3 months or before that, like through other trainers that I've tried? In the past 3 months, I will call him to me to try and redirect his attention, and he usually ignores me, depending on the trigger.
Okay, so you're not the positive reinforcement. He's more concerned about things in the environment than you. Why?
Well, when have I ever been the negative reinforcement? You're saying that certain punishments that I used were things like asking him to sit or do a down, as if that's a punishment for him.
Negative reinforcements generate behaviors, generally a flight and flight. So if your dog is not coming to you, that means you're a negative reinforcement. If you were a positive reinforcement, your dog would have no problems at all coming to you. They will want to come to you instead of being out in the environment chasing a rabbit. Negative reinforcements generate behaviors of fight and flight.
Okay. Can I ask you a question really quick? Are you sure that that is true?
I'm positive.
You're positive that if Monty was outside and he saw a mouse and he started chasing the mouse, not before, but he started chasing the mouse, like, and you didn't see the mouse. We'll use that as an example. You did not see the mouse until after he started chasing it. So you didn't have a chance to call him off the mouse until he's already in the chase.
Huh?
Would he immediately stop what he was doing and turn around and come towards you?
I don't expect him to come towards me. I expect to stop what he's doing. Now, you got to understand, Monty is deaf. He's stone deaf. Okay? But he can still feel the vibration. So if I clap my hand once, loud, that gets his attention. And he's done that before. You know what? He's managed to make the run. He's made the go at it. Clap my hands once, and he just stops and looks at me. That's it. Done deal. I don't want him to come to me. I just want him to stop what he's doing.
Okay. Well, what about any other dog? I guess Monty never has he's never caught a mouse before or done anything in the time that you've had him that was like a prey drive thing that you didn't want him to do.
Prey drive is not about to kill, it's about to chase. Monty's never killed an animal. Okay? It's like border collies. You say,
well, that's great.
It's like border collies. People say, border collies have prey drive. No, they don't. It's about the chase. It's not about the friggin' kill. They're not trying to kill the sheep. It's about the friggin' chase. It's always about the chase. That's all that matters. Okay?
Every dog.
They don't care what they're chasing.
Every dog has a prey drive, Robert, even if that includes killing. I have a border collie, and that border collie has killed gophers.
Why?
Does it all the time because that's what she loves.
Okay.
That's what she loves.
So
it's enriching for her, which I don't mind. If she has a prey drive, that doesn't make her a bad dog. The fact that my Pitbull has a prey drive doesn't make him a bad dog. You can't allow them, you can't do nothing and allow them to act on that prey drive, which I didn't fully understand until after following your instruction for so long. Because after not doing anything for a while and seeing his reactivity get worse, I realized that doing nothing is worse than not really knowing what to do and just taking him away from the situation. Because if we stand there and we do nothing and I just allow my dog to bark his head off at a dog that's 30 feet away that's not even hurting him, my dog just becomes more and more reactive each time. If I allow him to bark at and lunge at cows that are just roaming freely, he's going to end up getting kicked in the head. The cow's not going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. That's my point, is that not all prey drive is bad.
He's been operating conditioned in the past to do this.
To do what?
To chase. To try to kill. Why?
Is he conditioned by me or by his instinct?
Here's the thing. Many people, when they take the dog away from things, okay, you're actually telling the dog, you know what? You're actually making a big deal out of the thing. Again, from the dog's point of view. Most people can only see the dog's world through their own point of view. Again, we need to step back and look at the world from the dog's point of view. When a dog sees a cow, why would the dog want to chase the cow and try to kill the cow? What is the dog?
I don't think he wants to chase a cow and try to kill a cow. I think he would like to herd the cow. Okay. I don't think he's trying to kill the cow.
Okay.
And I don't think he's trying to kill the dog either.
Okay.
I'm saying that the other animal, the opposite animal, is the one that could hurt him. He doesn't know how to herd cattle.
Okay.
He's rarely been around cattle, which is why I can understand why he's so freaked out by them.
Give me one second.
But the cow could hurt him. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, I know. Monty was the same way. I introduced him to $1 million racehorses. Yeah, these horses are not socialized. They could have killed Monty. You know what? I could die in a car wreck tomorrow. We need to start putting away fears and stop worrying about what can happen. Okay? If you're worried about what can happen, you're never going to get anywhere. Okay? Monty, 2 months ago, just stop and listen to me. 2 months ago, Monty went nose to nose with a bloody wild coyote. Okay? It was 20 feet behind me. I was turning around, and out of freaking nowhere, the coyote came out of nowhere. Now, I got a choice to make. Okay? I have a choice to make at that point. I can either get scared and start chasing the coyote away, in which chance that, guess what? The coyote can grab Monty and be going up the road, and he's going to be a meal. Okay? Instead, I had to decide to say, you know what? I'm going to stay calm and let Monty deal with this. And guess what? No problems at all. I'm putting the onus on Monty. I'm putting the onus on him. He can handle this. Why? Because he knows I got his back. That's the reality. So when your dog is out in the environment and they're barking at a dog, big dogs are negative reinforcement to your dog. Guess what?
Yes,
negative reinforcement.
I agree.
Negative reinforcements drive behaviors, mostly of fight and flight. That's the reason why he's doing it. Now, the thing of it is, he's stuck in the middle because he's not looking at you as the savior. He's stuck in the middle because he's not looking at you as the positive reinforcement, the safe space. So he's stuck in the middle right now. Okay? He's still raging at the thing out in the environment because he knows that he doesn't know that you're a freaking safe space you can come to. If you became the positive reinforcement, if you could become the source of relief, I got your back here, come to me instead of being reactive in the environment, all of this shit is going to stop. That's the problem.
And my question to you has always been, how do I do that? I've never once stopped trying.
You're trying. There's the word trying again.
I'm trying to achieve what you have with Monty. If my dog encountered a coyote, there would be a fight, and my dog would either kill the coyote or the coyote would kill my dog. He wouldn't do what Monty would do.
You just hit the nail on the head. You're trying to achieve what I have with my dog. You cannot achieve what I have with my dog. You're trying to use my goals to achieve, and it's impossible. You need to choose your own goals. What are you going to be happy with? What do you want from your dog? But more importantly, what do you think your dog wants from you? That's the question. You know, do you want me to answer? Listen to me for a second. You're still going with the mindset of dog training. You're trying to achieve what they're telling you to achieve. Okay? I don't want any in the outcome of your dog. I don't want you to achieve what I have. You cannot achieve what I have. I have my own goals. I set my own goals, and I achieve my own goals. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? My dog is not part of this equation. I don't want any say in the outcome of your dog. I don't want to say any say in the outcome of any dog. You will never hear me say, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. I'm offering suggestions that worked for me in the past. Okay? But you're still focused on this idea of achieving somebody else's freaking goals. What are your goals?
I'll answer your question. My goals are very, very similar to your goals, apparently, because I do want something like that with my dog.
Okay.
I want my dog to be able to encounter triggers without reacting. That is what I want. I want him to see another dog in the wild and be able to go up to it and sniff it and then continue walking on down the trail.
And how do you figure that's going to happen?
When he's surprised by another dog out in the environment or a coyote, I want them to be able to see each other without my dog going after the coyote. That is what I want, which is what you have with Monty.
That takes rationalization and de-escalation, and that's something you do not have yet. Your dog has never learned to rationalize through fear. That's the problem.
Yes, I can definitely see that that's the problem. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
I know he has a problem, and I've asked you how to fix it, and just because what you've told me hasn't worked doesn't mean that I'm insulting you by saying that. I'm just telling you it hasn't worked.
You're trying to fix it. There's no fix. It's about understanding. That's what you're missing.
But you qualified it as a problem. You said that it was a problem. A problem indicates that it's the opposite of a solution, which means It does need to be fixed. If there's a problem, it does need to be fixed.
Okay, so let's
You're the one who used the word problem.
Let's back up the book for a minute, okay? So you know damn well the relationship with my dog is something that you are looking at and you want, okay? So let's forget about the rest of the group. Forget about the rest of the group members, okay? You just proved to me that I do know what I'm doing, because Monty was a train wreck when I first got him, okay? Within 3 days, he was off leash in dog parks. I don't expect you to do that. I don't care what you do. If you want to go to dog parks, go for it. It's your goals, okay? So now, you know damn well that I do know what I'm talking about, because my relationship with my dog is really, really healthy, okay? I haven't had even a collar on him in the last 2 years. I don't need one, okay? It's because I am the biggest positive reinforcement in his life. How did I teach recall? I didn't use treats and prongs and everything else. I used boundaries instead. Okay? So the first day he was off leash, I had him conditioned. I conditioned one thing with Monty, and that was a stop and look, a whistle. And for the first 2 days, it didn't matter where he was. He could be asleep on the couch. He could be chewing on a bone. He could be in the car in the passenger seat. I'm just going to blow a whistle. All I want him to do is stop and look at me. I'm not going to give him a reward. I'm not going to give him nothing. I just want him to stop and look at me. Okay? Why did I do that? Because at some point we're going to be going off leash in the dog park, and I need him to give me a stop and look. So the third day, the first 2 days, or the first 3 days actually, he was dropped off to me at 6 o'clock. So we spent probably a good 40 hours outside in those first day and 2.5 days. That's a lot of time. Okay? And all we focused on was relationship, not training. I didn't know him with my freaking hole in the ground. He didn't know me. So all we had to do is get used to each other, get to know each other. I knew damn well he didn't know how to be a dog. And all I did was introduce him to dogly things. I can't teach a dog how to be a dog. Okay? I can introduce dogly things. I can actually encourage him to sniff a dog's ass and actually trigger the instincts. But I can't teach a dog how to be a dog. Now, you know damn well that my relationship with Monty is solid. So you know that psychology works. And that's all I've used is psychology. I haven't trained a dog in my life. So, now you're asking me, how did I achieve that? Okay? And I can explain that, every bit of it to you. But again, it's not going to help you because you don't have Monty. Your dog is not my dog. Okay?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said to you, Robert. I'm not saying it was all your work that made Monty what he is. Obviously, you got him when he was a little bit older. He was a few years old. He had prior experiences outside of knowing you. And because he's such a small dog, I know based off of my experience and having worked with dogs for such a long time, I know that smaller dogs are generally, not all the time, but generally less aggressive as larger dogs in aggression cases. Okay, I'm not talking about in every situation, but your dog most likely sees himself as a prey animal. Less of a predator animal.
Oh God, no.
He probably sees things like mice as his prey. But the worst that Monty could do is kill a mouse. Okay?
Oh no, he can do a lot more damage than that. You see, again, people are making a mistake.
The miniature pincer? The worst that Monty could do at a dog park would maybe be to bite another smaller dog. But he can't hurt a Great Dane, and he can't hurt an English Mastiff. He can't hurt a Pitbull.
The hell he can't.
Okay. I don't think that's true. I truly don't.
Again, if you're gonna start denouncing my dog, okay? So let's change.
I'm not denouncing him. He's a good dog. He's obviously a good dog. I said that.
You don't take
I just don't.
Can you please stop for a second? Okay? You sound like Dale McCluskey and Kevin right now. Monty Gate. Okay? A dog is a dog. A dog is a dog is a dog. I don't care if you got a 2-pound Chihuahua or 200-pound fucking Mastiff. That dog needs to know you have his back. A 200-pound Mastiff can be scared. Why would a 200-pound Mastiff be scared?
There are multiple reasons.
Give me some.
We'll use the example of why I believe my dog has some fear reactivity. We'll say he was attacked in the past.
Okay. Monty was attacked in the past?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. That's what I was getting at earlier.
How do you think I got him over?
I don't know. You've told me the story of what you did with him.
You don't remember
but
either,
I don't know exactly.
So you don't remember either?
Remember what? What exactly? Because you've told me lots of different things about Monty. So you need to be more specific. I don't know what you're...
Do you understand?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Do you understand what gives Monty confidence in the environment?
You.
You see, when I taught Monty recall, dog trainers are saying you got to teach recall and you got to be a leader and you got to be all that kind of shit. That's all horse shit. Okay?
Are you sure?
Instead of using punishment, yes, it is. Instead of using punishment, you create boundaries. So I spent the first 2 days focusing on nothing but relationship with my dog. Nothing but relationship. I got to know him. He got to know me. He needs to understand that he can trust me. I actually went to bat with him. I was taking the lead. You know what? If he's scared, I leave him where he is. I'm putting the onus on him. Complete onus is on him. That's the difference between me and you. I'm putting the onus on Monty. I'm setting up a puzzle for him to figure out. So the first night I had him, we went to a pet store. Okay? The first thing he ever went fight and flight to in a pet store was a rabbit on the floor in a cage. I had a 16-foot extendable. He was scared. He went full fight and flight. He's sitting. He's got the. He's down low. He's growling. He got a friggin' mohawk from tail to friggin' ears. What did I do? What do you think I did?
I don't know, Robert. You'll have to tell me.
I left him where he was, and I went over and sat down and put my arm on the crate, and I waited for him to make a choice. I'm putting the onus on him. You can stay there scared, or you can choose to join me and stay there calm and come over and check this thing out. You can choose to trust me and come over and check this thing out. I'm saying point blank, I got your back here. I'm not going to let you get hurt. Didn't take long. Gears were turning. He finally stood up and he came over and met me. Okay? I'm not trying to condition him against a rabbit in a cage. I want him to trust me to overcome the fear of anything. That's it. I'm putting the onus on the dog. Okay? Dog trainers are putting the onus on you to try to fix the dog. I'm putting the onus on Monty. I'm setting up a puzzle for him to solve. Every freaking time I'm setting up a puzzle for him to solve. So we go back to a dog park. The only thing I focused on for the first 2 days was trust and respect. I wanted my dog to trust me. I wanted my dog to respect me. And you know what? We had pretty much 90%. Today I let him out of the car. I took a leap of faith. He ran out into the field. He booked the road. He was halfway out the field. I whistled. He stopped and looked at me. Great. That's all I wanted. Now I'm setting him up to fail. The onus is now on him. He's off leash right now. He's driving the car. Okay? I walked into the field and I met a buddy of mine, knowing full well what was going to happen. Monty ran off to a group of dogs, sniffed around, whatever have you. He ran off to another group of dogs, sniffed around, ran off to another group of dogs. Didn't take long before I realized, you know what? He has no idea where I am anymore. He's lost me. What do you think happened when he came to the realization that the only thing that he trusts and respects in that friggin' park? What do you think happened when he came to the realization that, oh, fuck, I screwed up. I can't find my owner.
You told me that he started panicking and crying and going around in circles trying to find you.
Exactly. What do you think that did to him?
You just stayed there and let him panic for a while, and then eventually he saw you.
Why?
That's what you told me.
Why did I do that?
I don't know.
You can't figure that out?
I don't know. You'll have to tell me your intentions. I don't know why you would have done that.
I had no intention at all. I let him fail. I let him figure it out. He was driving the car. He was driving the car. He was making all the decisions. And guess what? His decisions led him to losing access to me. And that's the only time it ever happened. That's when I set a boundary. He now knows that when we go to a dog park, when we are off leash, guess what? I'm the only thing that he trusts and respects. And he knows damn well now, after that one episode, to keep an eye on me. That's how I teach recall. I don't care. I don't need my dog. I don't need Monty to come to me when he calls. When we go to a dog park, when we're off leash, it's his time. Get up and be a dog.
Okay.
I don't need him to come to me. Yep.
Can I ask you a question, Robert?
Mm-hmm.
So let's put myself in the scenario with you and Monty, because even though we don't have the exact same goals, let's use the same scenario as you're using for me to trust my dog more than I am currently, okay? Mm-hmm. So if I take my dog right now to the dog park that is it's about 45 minutes from where I live, if I take him there and we'll say I leave a collar and a leash on him, but I let him out of the car and I let him run up to the dog park. He gets up to the gate. This has happened, by the way, just so you know, this has happened. He gets up to the gate, and at the gate, immediately, he starts barking and lunging at the gate.
Okay.
And the other dogs that are inside the gate in the dog park start barking and lunging at him and trying to jump the fence. and I get screamed at. Now, worst case scenario, I leave him there and I don't go and get him. Do you know what would happen to me in the state of Texas if a pit bull?
Now we're getting to the obesity issue. Okay, let's take the
if a pit bull was causing
stop and listen for a second.
Fight in a dog park and he was off leash and he was not being controlled. I would get arrested and my dog would get euthanized. That's the difference between you and I. And between my dog and Monty, okay?
Can you give me a minute to talk?
Yeah, but did you hear? You didn't let me finish what I said before I was.
I know exactly what you're getting at. I know exactly what you're getting at.
But you didn't let me finish. That's my point. What I was going to say, just to finish this off, and then I'll be quiet and I'll let you speak. But what I was going to say, because my question wasn't finished, is that would that be good for my dog if I got arrested and he got taken to the pound and got euthanized? I'm asking you.
No, it's not going to be, okay? Now, here's the thing. I want you to hear me out for a second, okay? Because you're living under the stigma of the pit bull, okay? And you're allowing yourself to be living under the stigma of a pit bull. Eleanor Roosevelt, the wife of FDR, the president, she said something very clearly that I've never forgotten, and I'm actually going to get it tattooed on my body somewhere. Okay? Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Okay? Now, if you didn't have a pit bull, if you had a greyhound instead, would we be having this conversation?
If the greyhound was acting the way that my dog acts.
If you had a greyhound instead of a pit bull, if you were not dealing with the stigma of a pit bull, okay? Would you be in the same boat?
If they had reactivity,
would you be in the same boats? You got stigma, pit bull stigma. You are living under the stigma of a pit bull. You are afraid because you have a pit bull. You are living in fear because of the stigma. You are living in fear of the stigma of the pit bull. Now, you're looking at your dog as a liability because the dog is a pit bull. Because society is telling you your dog is a liability and you're actually believing them. Instead of actually looking at your dog as a liability, you need to start looking at your dog as an asset and create a asset of the breed. Do you realize how many people are scared of miniature pinchers? Do you realize what they're doing to the miniature pincher? If you go into miniature pincher groups, if I post videos of my dog in the dog park off leash in miniature pincher groups, I get people demanding to see his papers, proved it as a miniature pincher. And it's every breed right now. It's the pit bull. It's the German shepherd. If you go into any breed-specific group and you're going to see the same crap over and over again, it's just the way they are. They can't be fixed. And it's all because of stigma.
It's not as bad with other breeds. It truly is worse with pit bulls.
But the thing of it is, you are living under the stigma of the pit bull. And I see this so often.
Okay.
Friends of mine have...
Can I respond to that?
I'm not finished yet.
You're not finished? Okay, well then I'll just have to wait because I do want to respond to what you just said.
Friends of mine have a pit bull, okay? Fergus, the pit bull in the pictures with Monty, he's 110 pounds of pure love. He is not allowed to be around children. Why is he not allowed to be around children? Because if he turns around and scratches a child, that could be a death sentence for the dog. So he's a great dog. He goes to a dog park, but he's not allowed to be around kids because of the owner's fear. He hasn't never had a problem with the kids, but the owner's fear of the pit bull, because he is the breed, he's a stigma. And you're living with the stigma. And I see this so often. It's the stigma of the pit bull that's causing you to be a control and manage your dog. That's the problem. And it's because he's a friggin' pit bull that you're not allowing yourself to have a proper relationship with him because you're scared of being tagged. You're scared of doing anything because you have a pit bull. That's the problem. You are living in fear because of the stigma, because of society, based on what dog trainers have fucking caused. Do you know why there's a big stigma against pit bulls? Any idea?
You told me what you thought it was, and you said it was because they were
it's a fact.
Untrainable.
They're untrainable for IGP dog training because the average pit bull, you can beat it, you can try to beat it in submission, it's not going to break.
And it won't submit.
It will not submit. That's the problem. So you know what? Every trainer out there is trying to kill the pit bull. They want to decimate the entire friggin' pit bull. It's not even a breed. They want to decimate the entire pit bull because it's not satisfactory for fucking IGP dog training. So now we have the stigma that you're living under. And that's a stigma that's preventing you from doing anything. Okay? If you had Monty, if you had a miniature pincher, you wouldn't be going through all this because you wouldn't be dealing with the stigma. Once we take the stigma out of the equation, now we can start focusing on the dog. But I can't get past the stigma. You're still hiding behind the stigma of owning a pit bull. You're scared to own a pit bull. That's the problem.
Can I respond
Yes, you can.
now?
Go ahead.
Or okay. Firstly, I just want to say, if you do end up posting this, I'm not afraid of owning a pit bull. I don't have any fear of my pit bull, and I don't have fear of other people's pit bulls.
You got fear of what you got fear of what your pit bull is going to do to others.
I have fear of what other dogs would do to my dog. I've said that all along. I have never seen my dog deliberately go and hurt another dog.
Okay.
Never seen that happen once.
So you're living. You're living.
Well, and I shouldn't say fear. I'm not afraid of it because I know my dog could probably defend himself if he needed to because he's very strong. So I guess I shouldn't even say fear because I don't have a fear of what other dogs could do to mine. I just know that the way he acts is going to set other dogs off because I've seen it happen in the past. It doesn't have to do with the stigma or with people on the news or people telling me to kill myself because I have a pit bull. I could care less, or sorry, I should say I couldn't care less about what those people have to say because my dog is very good. He's a very good dog and he lives with other dogs and he's never once been aggressive to them. Okay. So I don't have a fear of that. But let me finish, Robert. What I was going to say earlier is that the reason that I do have an awareness and a caution around the stigma is because that exact scenario that I described to you earlier truly did happen to me. It was before when I lived somewhere else. It wasn't in Texas, but I let my dog go out of the vehicle and run up to the gate of the dog park, and he started growling and barking at the other dogs, and like 10 dogs ran up to the fence and started trying to attack him through the gate. And every owner there began screaming at me and screaming that they would call the police. And I just waited for a second when I was getting him out of the car. And I thought, you know what? Let's see what he does. Let's see how he reacts. And he did react terribly.
So why?
And because of that, I almost got the police called on me. And I have to say, again, let me finish. I'm not quite done yet, but I have to say that if he had been doing that, but he was a border collie, which is another dog that I own, I would not have felt any less threatened by the other people and their dogs there. It doesn't have to do with his breed. It has to do with the fact that he's a reactive dog. And other people around me are never going to understand that he's reactive because of something that happened in the past. They're just going to see a barking pit bull and think, oh, yeah, all pit bulls are evil. And if he ended up doing what your neighbors are afraid of, like if he turned around and he scratched a kid, we'll use the exact same example. I can understand why your friends are afraid of that happening because he would immediately be euthanized whether he did something on purpose or not. I have seen it happen at work, in my personal life, with friends, with family. That happens when you own a pit bull.
In 15
so
years,
just because
I've seen so many...
because I'm cautious of that doesn't mean that I'm afraid of that happening or that I let it affect the way I treat my dog. I treat him the same as I treat my border collie and the same as I treat my American bulldog.
Do you realize you're living in the past?
I'm living in the present.
You're living in the past.
How so?
Because you're still afraid of what's going to happen.
I just told you I'm not afraid.
Yes, you are. You're clearly afraid. Let me ask you a question.
Can you tell me how, though? Can you describe?
I always tell owners, honesty is the best policy. Right now, you're living under the stigma of owning a pit bull, which means you are living in fear. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. You are living under the stigma, and you're afraid that your dog is going to hurt somebody or get hurt or cause something to get himself euthanized. I get it. You're afraid of it.
No, I'm not. I'm afraid that another dog will hurt him.
Why?
I'm not afraid. I'm worried that another dog would hurt him because I've seen it happen in the past. I've seen a German Shepherd attack and almost kill my pit bull dog.
So again, we need to look at the world through the dog's point of view. Your dog is seeing you out in the field. You're concerned. You're nervous. Whatever it is, I don't care how you slice it and dice it. You're not 100% calm. That's the reality. So if you're not 100% calm, guess what? Your dog is going to be looking at you going, okay, my owner is not 100% calm. I need to be reactive here. We're in the middle of a war zone. The dog doesn't understand what's going on. All he knows is he's reacting to your fear, your frustration, whatever emotion you have going on at that time. Okay? Dogs can read us like a book.
How can that be true if he does the same behaviors and has the same level of reaction even when I'm not there?
Why is he excited in the first place? I keep telling you, excitement is your enemy. Why is your dog excited?
When he's around other people and I'm not there, he still can be reactive. When that fight took place, I was not there.
There's no such thing as an aggressive or reactive dog. It's a fight and flight response. Why is the dog going fight and flight in the first place?
Because he's overly excited.
Why
and
is
he
he
causes
overexcited?
He causes other dogs anxiety, and other dogs have attacked him.
Why?
When he was a puppy, it was because he was overly excited.
He's still overly excited. Why is he still overly excited?
It's a circular question. It's because he's overly excited because he's afraid, like I just told you.
He doesn't have a diagnosis. That's the whole problem. Something is causing the emotional response, which causes the behavior. What is the something? Why is that something exist? All we are is a catalog of millions of reinforcements. That's all we are.
All I know.
Stop and listen. All we are, when it comes to operant conditioning, is a list of millions of reinforcements. Everything you interact with that has any importance in your life is a reinforcement. Okay? Most things are benign reinforcements. A toothbrush is a reinforcement. Okay? But when I was younger, I used to drink quite a bit. There's been many mornings when I woke up, but my tongue was so friggin' dry, I felt like the entire Russian army walked over my tongue. My internal state changed, which made the toothbrush a positive reinforcement. I need to get out of bed and brush my friggin' teeth. A toilet is a reinforcement. Okay? As a benign reinforcement, something you interact with every day. But when you're dying for a friggin' bowel movement, you're in harm. Okay? You're in harm. You're a negative reinforcement. A toilet anywhere at that point is a positive reinforcement, a major positive reinforcement. Ordinarily, it's a benign reinforcement until your internal state changes and you acquire it. Okay? Then a toilet becomes any toilet anywhere becomes a positive reinforcement. This is what we need to look at with dogs. Okay? Temple Grandin will tell you, my voice is starting to give out now. Temple Grandin will tell you point blank that dogs think in pictures. Okay? And anytime you meet something new in the environment, you're going to have a reaction to it. It's either a positive reaction, a negative reaction, or I don't give a shit reaction. Okay? Okay? Do you understand that? So if you give a child a bowl of ice cream for the first time in their life, chances are it's going to be a positive consequence that they're going to want to repeat. Okay? You get on TikTok and you watch parents giving their child a dose of wasabi or a friggin' slice of lemon. Guess what? It turns out to be a negative consequence that they're going to avoid in the future. They're not going to want to. Your first reaction to anything new in the environment is your forever reaction. That's what it boils down to. If you see a big hairy tarantula for the first time in your life, chances are you get a negative reaction. The next time you do it, you're going to have the same negative reaction because your brain uses past to predict current. Okay? It's all based on millions of friggin' reinforcements. So your dog right now has a picture of your dog's memory, has a photo of them of positive pictures, negative pictures, and indifferent pictures. They don't give a shit. Okay? Anything in the indifferent category doesn't cause a fight or flight response. And fight or flight can be aggression or reactivity, but it's also just to move forward or move away. Okay? That's the reality. We've only got three things that happen to us. We either move forward, we move away, or we don't give a shit. And right now, your dog has a photographic memory. That's what it boils down to. And right now, your dog has a lot of negative pictures in his head as a result of the past. There's a few positive pictures.
Yes.
And what is positive reinforcement?
And I think he keeps getting negative pictures in his head over and over every time I stand there and I just act calm and I don't do anything to prevent him or dissuade him from attacking or from alerting or just anything. He's never deliberately bitten a dog, but he's so explosive and he's so anxious that he could. Yes, that he could.
That's always
when I stand there and I do nothing, and the other dog, not my dog, but the other dog that he's reacting to, sees a crazy deranged dog barking his head off and a random person standing there, that other dog is either going to walk away or fight back, like the fight and flight response.
Yeah.
And more often than not, when my dog is bouncing off the walls barking, the other dog has come up and attacked him. That's what has happened when I don't do anything.
So why is your dog bouncing off the walls?
Do you see that? Do you understand that?
My question is why is your dog bouncing up the walls in the first place? This is diagnosis. You don't know why your dog is doing this. We don't have a diagnosis, Eden. That's the problem.
The only thing I can think of is that when he was a puppy, he was attacked 2 times within about 3 months.
And again,
when he was a puppy.
Again, you're living in the past. The past is
That's when Robert, could you please let me finish a sentence before you interrupt? How can we have a conversation if you keep interrupting me? I let you talk for a very long time. I'm just answering your question. When he was a puppy, within a time span of about 2.5 months, he was attacked twice. And ever since then, he has shown aggression / fear. It's been like a mixture of both towards other dogs and towards animals that are larger than him, like livestock animals.
Okay.
I know that as a fact. I don't know exactly why that is. I just know that it started after he was hurt, okay? That's all I can tell you, and I'm not the one claiming to be a radical behaviorist, so I can't tell you all the reasons why he has reactivity or aggression.
That's the whole thing.
Because I don't know. But you're the one who told me, well, peel back the layers of the onion, and the further you go, the more answers you'll find.
Again.
How long before you start seeing any answers or any explanation?
Again.
Is it supposed to take years? Because
Again.
my dog's only a year old, and he could get hurt in the meantime amongst those years of me just standing there doing nothing, waiting to see if he'll ever decide that I'm a positive reinforcement instead of a negative one. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What are you doing to persuade him that you are the positive reinforcement? Because right now you are not the positive reinforcement. If you were the positive reinforcement, he would be coming to you for safety instead of actually losing his shit out in the environment.
I've been doing all the things you suggested. So whatever I'm doing right now is something that you told me to do.
We still don't have understanding. We still do not understand cause. We're still dealing with effects, but we still don't know about cause. Okay? Why is the dog doing this? That's the diagnosis. And we still don't understand why the dog is doing this. That's the whole problem. And the problem is you cannot let the past go. You keep going back to that moment that he was attacked. And if you can't let go of the past, darling, you're never going to live in the future. You can't look forward to the future. Everything that goes on right now.
You asked me why, and I told you that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know any other reason. I don't live in that moment every minute of every day. I was just giving you an explanation as to why I think it started.
But that's the reason that you always go back to. Maybe there's more reasons. That's the whole thing. But you don't seem to be too willing. You don't seem to be too willing to talk about other possible causes.
Well, what can you think of? Based on what I've told you, what could be another reason?
It's a step-by-step process. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, but you're trying to get to a step 30 without getting through to a step 1. Okay? That's the whole problem right now. You have an excited dog. Why is your dog excited? That's the whole problem. And what do we do to curb the excitement? There's a reason why he's excited.
He likes being excited.
Why?
He enjoys being excited. He enjoys chasing things. He has high prey drive compared to other dogs.
Why can't
he loves chasing, and he loves playing, and he loves playing with other dogs.
And again, it goes
but when
back
he gets
to the
overly excited, it sets other dogs off. And I'm not going back to the past. I'm talking about 3 months ago until now, until this very day. I go out with him every day. We interact with the certain triggers that set him off the most. We interact with those every single day. There's no kind of fear that's holding me back from working with him.
Okay, so you're taking him out and trigger stacking him. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
Because
well, then,
Here's the thing.
Okay, then you tell me the solution.
Okay, can you
Robert,
please stop, and I'll tell you the solution.
It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22.
You see, you're looking for an overnight thing. It seems to me like you're looking for an overnight thing. There's no such thing as an overnight thing. Okay? Some dogs take a lot longer than others. The longest it's ever taken me to get a dog off leash is 7 hours. Okay? It took longer with my own dogs. I had to solidify the relationship. Here's the thing.
Well, that sounds pretty overnight. That sounds pretty quick. I'm not expecting it to be that quick.
Okay.
Not by any means.
The problem is, if you start listening and actually start putting away everything that you believe, okay? You keep going back to the past. Number one thing that I do with Monty, I cut the past off. He's 5 years old.
Okay.
I don't care about the past anymore. I do not give a shit about the past anymore. You know what? What happens in the past, if anything negative happens in the past, I try to end it on a positive note. It's cut off. I don't focus on it anymore. Shit happens. The past is written. The ink is freaking dry. If you can't let the past go, then that's your problem. Okay? You cannot change the past. All you can do is change the future.
I don't think I can. I'm not trying to change the past.
There you go. Yeah. That's the self-defeat. That's the self-defeat right there.
What do you mean? I'm not trying to change the past?
You keep looking at the past to understand what he's doing right now. You're living in the past. You keep focusing on the past. Do you understand that? Your dog doesn't want to live in the past.
No, I don't understand that because I haven't been living in the past.
You're living in fear because of what's happened in the past.
I'm not in fear either. I don't. How would I take my dog out every day and do these things with him if I was afraid?
You can't even be honest with yourself right now. Honesty is the best policy.
What am I lying about?
Now, you are afraid of what he's going to do or what's going to happen to him. Right now, he's a liability in your life because of the stigma that you're dealing with. You're looking at your dog as a bloody liability. Okay, that's the whole point.
And what would be the way to resolve that?
I wish I was closer. I would take your dog and give me a day or two, and I guarantee you're going to see a different dog.
Okay, what would be the way that I could resolve it since you live in Canada and I live in Texas? That's what I've been getting at this whole time, is that I'm not trying to live in the past. I do these things with him every day. I'm not afraid of anything. I allow him to interact with other dogs. It just goes poorly every time. I allow him to go see cows. I allow him to see goats. I allow him to go right up to goats because goats, I don't think, could really hurt him as much as a cow could. And he still has a bad reaction.
Again, you're focusing on step 50 when you need to get back to step 1. What is step 1?
Then tell me, what is step 1? I don't know. I'm asking you, Robert.
Why is your dog excited? Excitement is your enemy. Why is your dog excited? Please answer that question.
I already answered that. I told you it's because he loves being excited, and you said that was wrong.
Why is he excited?
Because it's good for him to be excited in his mind.
No, it's not. Why in his mind
he seems to enjoy it.
Why doesn't he enjoy just being calm?
He does enjoy being calm in certain scenarios, but he also enjoys being excited.
So what do you want from your dog? What
reliability?
Do you really want from your dog? No, not reliability. What do you want from your dog? Do you even know?
Consistency. I want consistency and reliability from my dog. Yes, that's what I like.
If that's what you want, then I can't help you.
How can you tell me? How can you tell me what I want from my dog? I want him to be reliably good and consistently calm and just reliable in every scenario. I want him to have enough energy to play, but also be able to calm down when I ask him to calm down. That's what reliability is. I want him to be consistent.
Again, you're trying to get him to do that. You can't get him to do that. He needs to understand that calm state gets him everything he wants. That's the problem. You're dealing with an excited dog. You're saying he enjoys being excited. What you really want overall is just an overall calm dog you can take anywhere. That's all you want. That's all any dog owner wants. That's what I have. That's what I achieved. I have an overall calm dog that I can take anywhere. And it's not going to be an asshole. There's nothing in the environment that's called socialization. He's indifferent to everything in the environment. There's nothing in the environment that's going to set him off. Your dog is not indifferent yet. Your dog is not socialized yet. That's the whole problem. But you're focused on step 50 when you need to get back to step 1. And step 1 is focusing on your relationship. And you are not the positive reinforcement.
How do I become that then? That's what I ask questions every day. I visit the group before I take him out and we do activities together. I've called you. I've talked to your followers. I've talked to people in the group. And I still have never had that answer. What am I supposed to do, or what am I doing wrong? You haven't told me.
I can't tell you. That's the problem. You're expecting me to give you an answer. I don't know your dog. All I can tell you now is that oh my God, human relationships, human best friend is no different from dog's best friend. Is your dog your best friend? Yes or no?
My dog?
Yes or no? Is your dog your best friend?
Yes.
No, he's not.
He is my best dog friend. Yes, he is.
I don't care about dog friend. This is radical behaviorism. Replace dog with human. Is your dog your best friend?
I have a best human friend and a best dog friend.
No.
And yes, he is my best dog friend. Out of my 3 dogs, I've had him the longest, and he's my closest dog that I've ever had.
Define best friend for me.
Best friend?
Yeah.
Somebody that you can reliably trust.
Can you reliably trust your dog?
Nope.
Okay, there
but
you go.
He's a dog.
That don't matter.
He's a dog.
There's your
He's
problem.
not. I wouldn't tell my dog secrets. I would lead my dog. There's
your problem. You don't trust your dog 100%, so you don't have a best friend in your dog.
I can't treat him like a human best friend. No, but he is my best friend as a dog. Yes.
I treat my dog like my human best friend. My dog is my best friend. Okay, that's the reality.
I trust my dog. He is.
I trust my dog 100%. I respect my dog 100%. As a result, he's got 100% confidence in me, and I've got 100% confidence in him. As mutual trust and mutual respect that creates confidence in any relationship.
Okay, so tell me what the first step is then. If that's been the issue the whole time, is that what you're saying?
Yes, you don't have a best friend. That's the whole problem, Eden. And that's what you're fighting with me with. You're looking at
I'm not fighting with you.
You're looking at your dog like he's just a dog. The problem is, I look at the dog
he is just a dog.
I look at the dog like he's a child. Okay? That's the reality. That's radical behaviorism. Okay? And if you can't look at your dog like a human best friend, then I don't know what I can do for you. If it's just a dog, then you're not ready to develop a best friend. And right now, you do not have a best friend. You just admitted it. You cannot trust him 100%. That's the problem. And
is that all that a friend is to you? Does a friend, because if I had a human child, I am most definitely not going to trust a 3-year-old child. A 3-year-old child makes thousands of mistakes per hour.
Yeah, and you have to let them.
No, you don't. Otherwise, they'd be dead. Do you really think that, Rob? Do you have children? Do you mind if I ask? Do you have any children?
No, I never had children.
Okay.
I was raised
maybe that's the disconnect, because I treat my dog like he is probably 3 or 4-year-old child. That's like his level of capacity, in my opinion.
That's your opinion?
Yes. He is not my very best friend. My very best friend is an adult person, and I do not treat him like I treat my dog. Okay, but I have raised children. I've been around children my entire life, and I've worked in a capacity where I taught children for years.
Do you believe children need punishment?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe that children need punishment?
If my child was aggressing on another child for fun, then yes, that child needs to be deprived of a reward, which in your opinion is punishment. So in essence, I would say yes, if that's what your definition is. But I'm going to treat my dog like I treat the children that I'm around, which is, no, you do not let them do whatever they want. That is not a relationship.
That's where you and I are different.
That's not what a relationship with a child is.
That's where you and I are different. You know what? I treat Monty like a fucking adult. I don't look at him like a child.
That's great. But it sounds to me like Monty has never been in a situation where he could have gotten you arrested or he could have been killed by another dog.
You think not? Again, you're making assumptions. You told me. You are making assumptions.
You told me not. You told me not. You told me that the first 3 days were the most difficult.
Yeah.
And that the most difficult thing he did was panic when he couldn't see you.
The most difficult
or bark at a rabbit. He barked at a rabbit and growled at a rabbit. That's nowhere near the situation that my dog has been in.
The first day I had him out, he went after a friggin' jogger with gusto. He almost got her. You don't think that would get me arrested? You don't think that would cause me a problem? You think a miniature pinscher can't do a lot of serious damage to a person's leg? Okay?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, of course not. You don't believe it. That's the whole thing. So now you're going to be dealing with now it's going to be, you're looking at my dog as not a dog. The miniature pinscher is the king of toys for a reason. It's not because he got pulled out of the toy box. These are a small dog and a big body. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, put away the insults from my dog. You already admit
I'm not insulting your dog, Robert.
You are.
Your dog is a very good dog, but he can't cause much damage.
It doesn't matter how much damage. Your dog can rip a person's arm off. My dog can do a lot of damage to a person's leg. It doesn't matter.
No, he can't. Okay? He can't. Not a miniature pinscher.
Oh my God! Like serious, I don't even know what to say to this.
I'm not expecting you to say anything. I just wanted answers, and I still haven't gotten them. I feel like if you're going to tell people that you're an authority figure,
I'm trying to help you understand.
You probably do have to help them. Yes, you do have to help them. Like you're saying, you're trying to help me understand, but every time I answer your questions, it's not good enough.
You don't trust your dog.
All of the pieces of advice that I've taken from you haven't worked. And when I ask you, how do I trust my dog? You don't tell me how. You just ask me another series of questions.
How do you trust your dog?
I'm asking you.
How does your dog trust you? The problem right now is the dog doesn't trust you. How do you gain trust in a dog? Okay, it's very, very simple. When an animal finds peace in your presence, it will come to trust you. Okay? Now let's take you for example. Let's say you're in a busy downtown core, you're alone, and suddenly you get afraid for whatever reason. Okay? Let's replace dog with human. Let's put you in a busy downtown core of a city at 2:00 in the morning, and you're all of a sudden afraid. Okay? You look over and 100 feet away, there's a fellow standing there that's calm. He's just reading this friggin' newspaper. Okay? He's not afraid. He's not doing anything. Would that be attractive to you? Would you actually take that, when you're in a fear state, would you actually go over towards that person and stand next to them?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Not if because that's awkward and strange. I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do that? Okay, because the average person would. Because that is actually quite attractive. When you're in a fear state, somebody is actually calm is quite attractive. So when your dog is in a fear state, guess what? They should be coming to you instead of being outraged in the environment. Why is your dog not coming to you instead of raging in the environment? That's the question. Why doesn't the dog come to you as a peace?
I've tried everything you've told me, and it hasn't made my dog less reactive around
horses. First of all, I haven't told you to do anything. I've offered suggestions, first of all. I've offered suggestions, first of all. Okay?
Yes, you've given me lots of things that you wanted me to do, and you've asked me to promise that I would try them.
Yeah.
That's...
Okay, so again, we're back to the point.
Telling me to do things.
Again, we're back to the point. You said point blank, you put video in the group, then you deleted it without even letting me know they're there or even tagging me. Okay? And now you're getting upset because I didn't see the videos. Okay? I would love to see your videos. That's the whole point of the group. If people are willing to post videos, it's even better because I can see the behaviors of what's going on. Okay? So again, you're turning around and you're blaming me for things that I didn't even know about.
I'm not blaming you for anything, Robert. I'm not.
You are.
We have the same conversation every time we speak.
But again,
it's me telling you, hey, Robert, I tried what you suggested and what you made me promise that I would do, and it didn't work. You start doing this, where it always comes back to something that I've done wrong. Not that the method itself might not actually work. That's always what it comes back to.
Let me ask you a question. What would you need to see from your dog to see your dog 100%? To trust your dog 100%? What would you need to see?
I would need to see him walk up to a male dog that is larger than he is and sniff him and maybe do a play bow and start interacting with him.
Okay, so
that's what I would need to see.
Here's an honest question. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to do that?
Yes.
Okay, why haven't you done it yet?
I have.
And what was the result?
The result was that he didn't go up calmly to the dog.
Why not? Why wasn't he calm?
Because he was barking and lunging.
Why?
And yelping.
Why?
I don't know. We just established that it's not that. I won't mention it because it upset you before, but the thing that happened to him in the past is the only thing that I can think of that made him reactive. And he is still reactive to this day. So I don't know why. I don't know the other reason.
So we don't have a diagnosis yet, but yet we keep fighting. We keep coming back to the same problem. You don't trust your dog 100%, okay? You do not.
How do we get the diagnosis then, Robert? How long is it going to take?
That's the whole point. This is the whole point of having a conversation, but this is not even a conversation. You keep going over top of me and you keep referring back to the same stuff. That's the problem. You're living in the past. You keep going back to the fucking past about what he's gone through. And if you're not willing to cut the past off, the past is written, ink is dry. You can't change it. But you're still focusing on the past. You're still focusing on the past.
What do I need to do then?
You need to get rid of the past. Cut it off right now. Tomorrow, today's a brand new day. Period. End of day. That's where it starts.
All right.
Are you able to do that?
Okay. I have already done that, and I will I'll prove to you how I did that, because earlier this morning, I took him across the street to a male dog that's a stray dog that wanders around here, and I let them sit next to each other and sniff each other, and he didn't have a reaction.
Okay, so
you're going to be upset by this, but I did that using a head halter, like a gentle leader, and it was at the suggestion of somebody that you dislike very much.
Yep.
It was not a protocol that you had showed me or told me about.
So take the halter off and do it again.
Okay. You want me to do that? I'll do that, and I'll show you how he reacts.
Yep. You see, the halter is giving you control. And when you're under control, that's going to allow you to control your own emotions. That's the whole problem. Okay, this is what tools do.
Yes.
That's what tools do.
And he stayed very calm. He did a very good job.
No.
He surprised me.
When you can do that without the tool, that's the difference.
But the fact is, I had to use the tool first to show him that it was okay.
What is the tool doing for you?
Giving me control over him.
Giving you what?
Control over him.
Control over him, yes. He's getting control over him. The fact that you have control over him is allowing you to control your emotions. That's what the tool does. If you could already control your emotions, you won't need the freaking tool. That's the problem.
Well, I know that's not true, because we tried the exact same thing without the head halter, and he did a terrible job. Yeah. He reacted really badly.
Because the tool is controlling you. The tool is controlling your emotions. That's the thing. People walk around, you know what? They slap a prong on the dog. Guess what? Their own emotions get under control. I got control of the dog. You know what? I don't need to be afraid. But yet, take the prong off, and guess what? You're right back to the same boat. That's the whole problem. It's only a tool of control. That's all it is. It's not doing shit for you.
So the video that you sent me this morning about letting your dogs do what they want and not intervening and not stepping in, that's what you expect me to do, which I already know that. You told me that already.
That's 50 steps down the road. Again, you're focused on 50 steps down the road. Right now,
you just told me that was the first step. Is it taking off the tools and letting him act how he would act?
Oh, my lord. That's not what I said. Get rid of the freaking tools.
Okay, repeat what you said then.
Again, you're focused on 50 steps down the road. Okay?
What's step one?
You focused on 50 steps down the road with an excited dog. The problem is we got an excited dog. That's the whole problem. So step one is understanding why he's excited. And step one.
Okay, how do I do that? What's step 1A?
It's got to be appropriate exercise. Now, we started this before because you were exercising.
No.
You had a lot of different exercises on the go. You need to pick one as a structured exercise, as a job. Okay? And it has to be clearly consistent. So you pick one thing that he enjoys doing. If he really enjoys chasing a remote control car with a lure behind it, pick that one thing, throw the rest away. Forget about the flirt pole, forget about everything else. You pick one thing that the dog truly enjoys doing. Okay? And you focus on that.
Okay.
Somatic reset, however often it takes. It could be some dogs, like a Belgian Malinois, is going to need it once a day. Other dogs might need it once a week. Other dogs might need it every 2 weeks. The problem is what you're dealing with right now is mental stress that the dog is not able to burn off. And as a result of the past reinforcements, they're causing him to get excited right now. So we need to start changing past reinforcements in order to get him to right now. You've got a whole lot of negatives in your visionary catalog. Okay? That's the whole problem. We need to start focusing on changing those negatives into positives before you will start focusing on worrying about letting the dog off and letting them, having given them agency. That's the whole problem. Right now, you still have an excited dog, and excitement is your problem. And that's step one. Why is your dog excited?
Are you asking me, or are you just making a point?
I'm asking you.
I told you already. I'm just going to give you the explanation I gave you last time, and you said I was wrong. So I can't say. You'll have to just tell me what you think.
It's called operant conditioning. It's the only thing that he knows to do. It's the only thing that he's learned to do. Okay? That's the whole point. We need to put him in a situation. The onus has to be on him. He's the one that chose to do this. It has to be him that decides to change the reinforcement, to change the way he looks at the world. But you're focusing on trying to use tools to get him to do that. You need to step back and allow him to actually look at the world. If you have a person in your life, let's say if you have a boyfriend, they come home and they're freaking ripping mad, they're screaming and yelling and whatever have you. What do?
Nothing.
Okay, because when an animal's in a bad state of mind, there's not much chance of having a serious conversation or any kind of a clear outcome. That's the problem. When a dog is in a set of state, training ain't going to work because they're not in a situation where they can learn. The problem is when they're in a calm state, that's when everything's kicked in. That's when they can learn. But right now you have an excited dog, and when a dog is excited, they are not capable of learning shit. That's the problem. So the whole issue right now is, why is the dog excited? We need to find a way to get the dog calm. You want an overall calm dog everywhere. That's what I have. And that's what you want. It's just an overall calm dog that's not going to be reactive to anything. That's called socialized. Everything in the environment, he's indifferent to it. There's nothing in the environment that's going to set him off. There's nothing that's going to be a negative reinforcement. There's no negative reinforcements to generate behaviors. Because he doesn't give a shit. Monty learned to rationalize. Your dog hasn't learned to rationalize yet. You know what rationalization is?
Yes.
What is it?
You tell me, Robert. Every time I've explained something, you've told me it was wrong. So you tell me. I would appreciate your explanation of what rationalization is.
Every dog, every child, I don't care what it is, okay? If a child is in a fear state, they need to be able to get through that fear state, get through the emotional state, and come to a calm state. When they come to the calm state, they come to the realization that nothing negative has happened. So when your dog is out in the environment barking at another dog, okay, does he actually get to the point where he can go calm and realize that nothing bad is happening? He can turn around and look at you and go, okay, my owner's calm. You know what? I can actually go to my owner instead of acting like a jackass out in the field. Because the whole thing with rationalization is that dog training for years has been telling you to block the dog. Okay? Don't have the dog do anything. You're actually interrupting the operant conditioning. And this is where all of the bad conditioning came in. That's the whole point. All the past training that you did, you don't realize, but it's all still with the dog. Especially when you start doing this with a puppy. A lot of people start rewarding and punishing the puppy when they're actually still imprinting. And the imprinting that's going on as a puppy is to brighten the operating system for the dog, rest of the freaking dog's life. You can't change that operant conditioning. You can't plug in a wire and actually change the programming to a dog. They need to rewrite their own programming. And you need to put the onus on them to do so. In order to do that, we need to set up puzzles for them to solve. The onus has to be put on the dog. It's their reinforcements. It's them that needs to change the way they look at the world. You can't force that. That's the problem. So right now you have a dog that's excited. That's your underlying problem right now. You have a dog that's excited. Why is the dog excited? And what can we do to get rid of the excitement? He's been conditioned to be excited. I sound like I'm grumpy, but my voice is giving out. Sorry. I got COPD. So why is the dog excited?
Okay.
That's the whole problem right now. The basis of all your problems is that you have an excited dog, not a calm dog. So how do we get your dog calm? That's the whole point.
Okay, can I respond to that,
Go right
or
ahead, no?
okay? Well, you've brought up these things that we've talked about over and over, and every time you ask me a question, I tell you what I think, and it ends up being the incorrect answer. And so I ask you, well, what do you think? What would it be that you would do in my situation? And then you tell me either you don't know or you give me a suggestion. Just now you were talking about somatic resets. I have done a total of 10 with my dog.
And how often?
I have done... I'm sorry?
How often? What exactly are you doing on a somatic reset? Explain, give me some details.
What you told me to do was
Explain.
exercise him. What you told me to do,
Give me exact details of what you're doing.
what you told me to do, which was exercise him
Using
with
what?
a structured exercise using an RC car or a flirt pole.
Okay,
I chose at first the flirt pole, and when that didn't work after the first somatic reset, I chose the RC car.
Okay, so how do you... what do you see as a somatic reset?
I'd never heard of the somatic reset for a dog until you explained it to me.
Okay, so...
Which is exactly what I've been doing, which was you exercise them until exhaustion with structured exercise. And then once they're tired, you let them rest for a 24-hour period. And you also suggested to me on, I think, our second consult call,
I never said a 24-hour period.
To not speak to him for at least 24 hours and not say a single word to him. You told me that.
Yeah, but I never
and I've tried that twice.
I never said after the somatic reset to give him a 24-hour rest. You give the dog a somatic reset, you tire him out until he's freaking satisfied, and then take him for a walk and then see what happens.
That's what I do.
Okay,
that's
so
what I do every day after we play. Yes, every day after we play.
Every day.
No, I didn't take a video every day. But yes, every day after we play, he sleeps for a few hours, and then the next morning, very early in the morning, we go on a walk. I can't walk him in the middle of the day. I walk him when it's dark because it's so hot here where I live.
Okay.
And there's a heat wave.
Try this.
So that's what we do every single day.
When are you actually doing the fruit bowl?
We do that in the evening.
Okay. So do it at
and
night.
Then he sleeps all night, and then we walk in the morning.
Okay. So you take your dog, you go through, and you take the fruit bowl and you tire him out. Then you take him for a good walk. What happens?
Then we go up and we see cattle, and he reacts badly. That it's the same cycle for months.
So he's not tired yet.
He's tired to the point that he can't keep chasing the flirt pole. And you told me that he was playing too much. You said I was giving him too much excitement.
Okay, so are you doing this every day?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Why? Because you suggested it.
I didn't suggest it every day. I said when you structured exercise could be once a week, it could be every 2 weeks. It's up to you to decide. Does your dog need this stuff every day? Because what you're looking to do is have an overall calm dog. Did you get rid of all the toys in the house?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. So I want you to try something else then. Go ahead and do the either pick one or what was the result of the RC car?
The same as with the flirt pole.
And how did you set up the?
He's still reactive.
How did you set up the car?
I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry.
Okay, did you just take a car and let him chase it, or did you have anything behind the car? Were you dragging the lure? Did he catch the lure? What happened?
Yes, it had a little like a rope tied to it. We have a toy that's like a rope toy with a ball at the end.
Okay.
And yes, he was allowed to catch it.
Okay. And what happened to the car?
what happened to the car? It's just sitting on the shelf. I don't really know what you mean.
So you had a car that your dog was chasing, okay?
Uh-huh.
You had a lure tied behind the car. When the dog got the lure, did the lure break away from the car?
No, it didn't.
Okay. So what was the result?
He dragged the lure with the car on it a little bit until we got up to him and we played tug with him for a second, and then he dropped it again and we repeated the process.
Okay. So after he was tired chasing the car, what did you do after that?
Walked him. The area that we take him to play like that is about a mile from our house, and we walk him to and fro.
Okay.
And so we walked him home and then put him to sleep.
Okay. And what was the result of the walk home?
What do you mean?
Was he excited on the walk home? Was he tired? Was he what?
He was the same as usual. He was fairly calm and he walked well.
Okay.
Just like he did on the way there.
Okay. So are we seeing differences in the dog? Once he's freaking tired and you go for a walk, are we seeing difference in the dog? Any difference
No.
whatsoever? I don't care what it is.
No.
Okay. So the RC car is clearly not working for him. So again, we need to find something that he likes to do. Pit bulls love to do hard pulling. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's another one to look at. There's a whole lot of things that we can do. Okay? That's the whole thing. We need to find one thing that the dog truly enjoys doing. Okay? That's going to satisfy him. And once you find out one thing that the dog's going to enjoy doing that's going to satisfy him, now we have something to work on. So again, we need to start at step 1. But you're focused on 50 steps down the road. Okay? The whole thing is
play
right
tug
now,
of war with him?
right now, the whole thing is right now, you need to develop a solid relationship with your dog, and you need to learn to trust him 100%. What is that going to take? Because until you have a fucking solid relationship, you're not going to get through anywhere. Because there's times that you do not trust a dog. And if you don't trust a dog, then guess what? Your operant conditioning is going, oh shit, what do I do? So when somebody's going out, when dog owners are walking their dog down the street and they see another dog coming and they start going, oh shit, that's your operant conditioning kicking in. And when you're going, oh shit, your cortisol levels are going up and the dog's looking at you going, okay, my owner's nervous. You know, why is she nervous? Now I got to be reactive. That's the whole thing about you finding your peace. Are you at peace when you're out in the out and about? Are you really?
Yes, because I know I can control him.
You can control him, yes. That's what gives you peace.
Yes.
It's the level of control that you have is what that gives you peace.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need control to be in a state of peace?
Because I need him to not get hurt, just like with a toddler.
There you go. You don't
just like with just like with a 1-year-old baby in a stroller. You're not going to let them walk down the road by themselves.
He's not a 1-year-old baby in a stroller. He's not a 2-year-old child. Okay?
He acts like a 2-year-old child.
Why? So he's not maturing at all. That's what the problem is.
Yes, because dogs mentally, you should probably know this, Robert. This is a scientific fact. Dogs mentally are about at the rate of maturity as a 2 to 3-year-old child.
That's who? What is the science behind that?
That's a study.
Where? By whom?
I'll have to find it. I'll link it for you. But it's a study done by the college. I think it was Cambridge. Cambridge University. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's a study that's been published, and it's cited all the time.
What is the study?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
I will. I'll send it to you because I can't remember. I obviously can't link it in our phone call, but I'll send it to you.
Okay, I want to see it. Because a lot of people are citing stuff that doesn't make sense. A lot of people are citing stuff that's actually a crock of crap. Okay? The whole problem is right now you do not have the solid relationship that you want with your dog. That's the reality. This is where it all begins. That's what I focus on. Number one thing that I focus on, like when I meet people, I tell them point blank, and I'm very upfront with dog owners. Your dog is going to become my dog, and I'm going to work with my dog. I'm going to socialize my dog. It's not your dog anymore. That's the reality. Okay? Your dog does not have a proper relationship with you. Your dog doesn't understand what a solid relationship with a human being is supposed to be. That's my job. I always take the dogs. It becomes my dog. I'm going to socialize my dog. I'm going to take my dog to a dog park. This is the reason why we see videos. Then at some point, I'm going to tell the when I'm ready for the owners to come in, I'm going to tell them to come on down to the dog park, and you stand there and watch me from a few hundred feet away. I don't want you involved. I just want you to stand there because they've never, ever seen their dog capable. And you have never seen your dog capable either. That's the problem. That's my job. My only job is to get the dog to a point where it's capable, and I can actually show the dog owners that they're capable. Because all the dog owner ever gets, if the dog is aggressive, we're going to kill the dog. You know what? This is it. That's the whole point. Nobody's ever shown your dog capable. That's the problem. And then once they actually stand there for a half an hour and they watch their dog with me being a completely different dog. Their dog is going around meeting dogs, going around meeting people. And I do this all the time. I used to do this all the time. Then I bring them in, and I'm going to give them back their dog. Once you see your dog capable, now you can learn, okay, you know what? Now I can trust my dog. And that's where everything starts. But nobody has ever shown you your dog is capable. That's the whole problem. And if I were there, your dog would become my dog. Literally. Okay? And I want to socialize my dog. And I'm going to show you that my dog is capable of doing everything. That's become my dog. Then I'm going to give you back your dog. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to teach you how to have a relationship with your dog. Because now you're actually going to experience your dog walking around with other dogs and other people. That's the whole thing. Everything starts with 100% relationship. And without relationship, you got nothing. And right now, you don't have a solid relationship. That's the whole problem. Everything starts with relationship. Every dog I work with. Not one of these dogs ever had a solid relationship with a human being. They don't have somebody they can trust and respect. They don't have somebody they can go to feel safe. And that's all I am. Everything starts with a relationship, and you don't have a relationship yet. That's the whole problem. That's why your dog is excited. That's why your dog is not calm. Everything starts with a relationship. But you're looking at your dog like a 2-year-old child. I look at Monty like an equivalent to me. In dog years, he's 90 years old. Okay? He's an old man. He's not a 2-year-old freaking child anymore. But we got to let dogs grow up. We keep listening to these bullshit studies. Oh, the dog is only 2 years old. It's like a 2-year-old child. No, they're not. They're far more capable than that. They're far more intelligent than that. If you're only carrying the attitude that it is just a dog, he's my dog. He's not my best friend. We got a problem.
My dog is a child in more senses than one. He really is literally only a year old, which if you're talking about dog years, which isn't an exact science, but he'd be about like 6 years old, 6 or 8 years old.
Are you
anywhere in that range?
If
that's what you're saying.
Are you letting your dog mature? Or are you keeping him as a 2-year-old child? That's the whole problem.
Mature to the level of an 8-year-old?
Mature to the level of a 20-year-old. Maturity to a level of 50-year-old. That's the whole problem. You're locking your dog in a box, and you're not letting your dog out of that box. You have an idea of what your dog is. You're building this box, and you got your dog inside of this box. And if you keep doing that, you're going to forever keep that dog in that box. And he's never going to be capable because you don't think he's capable. You've never seen him capable.
And is it not a possibility whatsoever that I have given my best effort and I have tried and I have done what you've suggested and it just didn't work?
It's not about suggestions. It's trying to understand cause. It's cause and effect. We still don't have a diagnosis.
But did I try to find one? I'm asking you if you think that.
You see, I don't know your dog. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to help you get a diagnosis for your dog. I do not know your dog. I do not know your dog. Every dog is different.
Okay.
That's the problem. I'm trying to help you get a diagnosis, but you keep fighting with me, and you got your dog locked in a friggin' box, and you won't let him out of your box. You're treating him like a 2-year-old child. You're treating him like your dog, not your best friggin' friend. How am I supposed to work with that?
I'm not fighting with you.
Pardon?
I'm not fighting with you, Robert. I'm not fighting with you. And I don't need you to work with it anymore. I'd be happy if you could post this video that you've been recording or audio that you've been recording. I'd be happy because I can go back and listen to it. And maybe sometime in the future, if I'm able to better understand your
That's what I'm saying. That's what I keep telling you.
Psychology, maybe then I'll be able to understand it. But as for now, I don't think we're getting anywhere.
That's why I'm saying you're not ready for what we have to offer yet. I keep telling you that. You're not ready yet because you're still stuck on dog training. Until you're ready.
If that's your opinion,
Until you
That's
are ready,
fine with me.
until you're ready to let go of dog training completely, I cannot help you, because dog training and friggin' psychology are oil and water. And you're punishing your dog in ways that you do not understand because you're not listening to the psychology. That's the reality. When you're using tools, you're punishing your dog still. And that only leads to learn helplessness. And the tool only serves to allow you to control your emotions. Your emotions are calm because you have full control. That's not a relationship.
What I think that maybe you don't understand, Robert, is that I have stopped training, and for 3 months I have been using psychology, as you term it. I have been, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. It hasn't gotten me to peel all the layers of the onion, to use the example that you use.
You're all over the place. You're trying to focus on step 50 when you haven't got through step 1 yet. You haven't got the relationship that you need with your dog, and everything starts with relationship. You think you have the relationship. You do not. Your dog doesn't trust you right now when you don't trust your dog 100%. That's where it all starts.
Okay.
What is it going to take? What is it going to take for you to learn to trust your dog?
To sum this up and to end the phone call, because it's been 2 hours.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it would take for me to trust my dog. It would take one good experience where he didn't react like he usually reacts, for me to fully trust him and never have to use what you would classify as aversives, which is even just using like a downstay. You say that that's an aversive tool. So if I never had to do anything else again, and we had the fully bonded relationship that you are explaining to me from your point of view, it would just take one decent reaction with a male who is larger than him.
And I wish I would.
And now I'd like to ask you the exact same question. Is that what is the one thing that I'm missing? Because you're saying it all boils down to our relationship, and I'm 30 steps ahead of the game, or 60 steps ahead. What is the one thing I could do right now to turn our relationship in the right direction?
Start treating him like a freaking child.
How? Can you tell me what is the application of that?
Okay, let's go back into the past again. Let's go back into the past with all the training that you're going to
You want to go back to the past?
We have to go back to the past because
you said you didn't want to.
The past predicts the future. Okay?
But we can't think about it too much, though. We can't remember the past too much.
Okay. It's your past experiences with your dog. You got your dog as a puppy, right?
I did.
Okay. So once again, when you got your puppy, you were training your dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you were training your dog, it was during the imprinting stages. And again, the operating system for your dog is created by imprinting. And he's imprinted a lot of punishment because of dog training. And this is what you're dealing with right now. This is where it all starts. Okay? This is where it all starts. Your dog's operating system has been screwed up because of dog training. It's been imprinted into his system. That's the problem. That's why he's fully excited today. You cannot change the operating system. You cannot rewrite the operating system. The dog has to be the one to do it. And you need to put the onus on him to do it. But right now, the onus is still on you.
How do I do that?
You can't do that.
How do I do that?
The problem is when
how do I put the onus on him is what I'm asking.
Oh, my God. Can you please? I told you already, you need to create puzzles for him to figure out. That's the reality. Again, if you have problems with food, guess what? Most people take the food bowl. If you have a dog that's excited over food or showing aggression over food, most people will take the food and stick it on the floor. Okay? Then trainers, if you got a food aggression, if food is a primary positive reinforcement, is required for survival. So when you got trainers working with food aggression and they're sticking a friggin' hand in the dish, you're literally forcing the dog to work to survive, to fight for survival. What I'm trying to explain to people instead is to change the environment. There's something in the environment. The food is the environment that's causing the problem. So you know what? Let's change the environment. Instead of feeding the dog right away, you stand there with the food dish in your hand. You puzzle on the dog. The dog's going to be looking at you going, okay, what does it take for me to get fed? The environment changed. The whole game has changed. Now what do I need to do to get it? That's creating a puzzle for the dog to solve.
My dog doesn't have that. So what would be a scenario that could work with my dog? I know. What would be a scenario that could work with my dog, in your opinion?
Give me a scenario where he's excited where you don't want to be.
Around cows.
Okay. So what do you do when he gets around cows?
I'm asking you what to do. I'm not going to keep telling you what I do. I've told you already. I've told you like 3 times at least. What would you do?
What would I do? I would just stand there freaking calm.
Okay.
The thing of it is,
then I guess that can be the end of the conversation.
Here's the thing. Again, number one thing that I go for is relationship. I want that 100% trust. I want that 100% respect. I want that 100% confidence before we meet the cow. Because once we meet the cow and we got a 100% relationship, the dog is not going to react. That's the problem.
Okay, so then how do I gain that trust, or how do I start to gain that trust before we meet the cow?
By finding your peace, period, end of sentence. When an animal finds peace in your presence, they will come to trust you. And right now, he doesn't trust you. There's a reason for it, because you're not at bloody peace.
Okay, so you suggest that I calm down more, even though I've told you I'm not afraid, and I'm not reactive, and I'm not explosive. What could I do to calm down if that's the root of all the problems?
I tell you what, I want you to create a video. Get one of your friends, you take your dog for a walk, and you have your friend follow you from 50 feet behind and record you as you're going for that walk, the entire walk, okay? And I want you to post that video. I'm not going to tell you why. I want to see you from behind, walking your dog on video for an entire length of a walk. You get that on video for me, you post it to the group, and we'll talk again.
And you can't tell me why.
I'm not going to tell you why.
Okay, and that's the only is that the only suggestion you have?
I'm putting the onus on you right now. Okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing with the dog. I want you to get somebody to record you walking your dog, because I want to see your body language when you're walking your dog. Okay? I want to see if you're not afraid or not. Are you willing to do that? That's a challenge for you right now.
I'm willing to do that, but I don't know if I actually will send you the video, Robert.
Why not?
Because this doesn't make a lot of sense, and because of how upset you are that I've decided to look into other training methods. I don't think there's any purpose for it.
Again,
honestly, I don't think there's any reason to send you a video of me walking my dog from behind.
You know what? You're not ready for what we have to offer. When you're ready, the door is always open.
If that's what you want to say, that's fine. That's fine.
You're not ready for what we have to offer. Like I say, when people are ready, when they finally come into this group, there's people that come into this group. They've already been through 100 trainers. They've already spent $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on their freaking dog training. And you know what? By the time they hit the group, they're ready to give it all up. You're not ready to give it up yet. And until you're ready to give up on dog training, like I say, dog training itself is pure punishment. Psychology is anti-punishment. And again, you're focused on punishment. When you have a child, you're focused on punishing the child. I focus on boundaries, not punishment.
Okay. And when I say to you that I did give it up, and I have given it up, and I did completely relent and allow myself to learn everything you told me and try everything you suggested to me, when I say that, do you believe me?
I believe you, but I don't think it's going in the right direction.
I don't either. I don't think it's going in the right direction. That's why
we still have
continually have questions for you. I can agree with you on that. So
we still have an uncalm dog.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you have an uncalm dog because you don't have the relationship yet. That's the whole problem.
Okay.
So right now we're on a freaking circle, and you need to sit down and do some soul searching, and ask yourself truly, what do I really want from my dog? Most people call me up. They're going. I ask them what they want from the dog. They just want the dog to sit. They want the dog to do this. They want the dog to do that. Nobody's ever asked them that question before. Okay? So when we get to talking, it always boils down to the same answer. All you want is an overall calm dog you can take anywhere. Right now, you don't have that. And you don't understand why. And I'm trying to help you understand why. Because you don't have the relationship. That's the whole problem. The dog is not coming to you instead of barking, losing his shit out in the environment. If you had a solid relationship with your dog where your dog trusts you and respects you and wants to be with you, he won't be out and chasing friggin' rabbits and cows out in the field. That's the whole problem. That's what I'm trying to experience to you.
Okay.
And if I
Well,
were
thanks
there-
for the conversation, Robert. I appreciate it. And I look forward to listening back to this video too, because I'll use it if I forget anything.
I'll put it in the group right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
All righty. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peter Reeford.